cause and effect. It is one of the very significant teachings in the spiritual realm that helps us look at how life is unfolding for us and how that flow is. We're going to call it names like karma, the law of reciprocity. It'll be described as the measure that you mete into others will be likewise meted unto you. Everybody is going to be teaching that there is some sort of a process, there's a flow, but there is a cause and effect, and that's what I want to talk about in this video. My name is Dan Paulson, and welcome to my channel. I am exploring the one nested template that is located in all of religious and spiritual teachings from antiquity, mythologies as well. We will find this template in Genesis and Christianity. Anyway, you can look through earlier videos if that has interest for you. What I want to do here, though, is talk about how we recognize certain things. This is a little bit more advanced. This is something that actually requires you to be a certain point along the path yourself before you can kind of see it or engage with it. This is the Tao, the way. This is how life unfolds. We can begin to see things and predict things. And what I want to suggest is that if we see something happening, and you know what? Here's what I'm going to do is I'm going to read a comment. I posted a video yesterday. I can put a link down below that. And I don't know if he'll delete it. I'm not going to name the guy's name or anything. But the comment after posting the video where I was talking about tools, how we go on this path, what we're looking for, the things that I'm finding that are required and whatnot. And I put that video out and he replied, "Disappointing video. Hope your future videos are better. I will give you a second chance." And then he posted another one, "But you are only rambling, Daniel. Show us. Don't spend 26 minutes leaving us empty-handed." Okay, so at first I replied and said, you know what? You invited yourself here. You don't like it? You can leave the table. You know, you're welcome to go. I don't need you here. And then I thought better of it and realized, you know what? This is actually perfect. It's like serendipitously the very next lesson that I need to throw out here. His comment was perfect. It leads right into this video right here. We can look at where he's coming from and see something from him without taking this personally. I could look at this and go, oh, disappointing video. What are you talking about? I did a good job. Future videos better? Yeah, you know what? I'm very confident with what I'm doing and what I've got going on, and we've talked about this. It isn't for everybody. There's not a lot of people that are going to be interested in it. So this is not a surprise to hear somebody that is, maybe they're on a search, maybe not, but you can see where you can see where they're from. He's going to give me a second chance. That's actually a dig. I hope your future videos are better. Disappointing video. These are things that are important. That is his comment, but where does that comment come from? Well, let's analyze this and look at a bigger picture that I'm seeing. And this is going to be a part of the last video where I said sometimes you just post things and you kind of have an idea and it helps you learn more. That's kind of what I'm doing here. But I know that I have something that is viewable that people are going to want to see, even if I don't see it all. But I'm going to leave his comment alone right now and do something else. Let's do a speculation, or just let's go through this story. I'm going to create an imaginative story. We're in a grocery store. We see a mom with a kid in a cart, and she's like smacking the kid, telling him, "You shut up, you knock it off when we get home." What do you see right there? Most people see an evil mother that doesn't deserve a child and shouldn't be doing that. Something is wrong. He, she, whatever. It's an example, okay? You can look at that and go, oh my God, what is wrong with that person? What you can begin to see is that mother as a child in a cart being whipped by her mother, being told, "You shut up, when we get home, you're going to get it." You begin to see a chain. You begin to realize that people are not evil people, that they're a product of their upbringing. What you're observing in their physical action is the final result of what is inside, the energy that builds, that finally manifests into the world that emerges right there. What you're seeing is the final fruits. That is not the person. That is the result of something else that is in place, that has been happening, that is inside that person. And what you're seeing is the way that they act out based on that. It's a bigger picture than an evil person. That person might later sit and cry and go, "Oh my God, why do I do that?" We don't see those parts. Maybe they don't. I don't know, but that's not our place to say. What our place is to look at that and not say those are evil. They're broken. Humans, people, extreme, massive groups, hating, judging. It's epidemic. It's really huge. People are acting out not because they're evil, not because they have a belief, but because something is broken inside of them that we need to see. When people are acting out like that, they're not. When somebody says, I'm going to vote against gay rights, for example, or something like that. Why? Everybody's born. They're born with a variable set of DNA. People are born with certain propensities. People are born the way they're born. And as long as humans coexist and don't hurt each other and treat each other properly, so what? What is happening that makes them judge like that? Is it really evil? Why is it evil? What does it do to them? Something else is acting out. Is it justice? Is it a sense of fair play? Or is there something driving that behavior? We're not seeing what emerges physically. Is what emerges is, oh, this is wrong. That's evil. You're not supposed to do that. And I'm standing by that belief. But that is not what is really there. Like the mother whipping her kid, there's something that drove it. What is driving people to hate that? What are we? We're animals. How'd they grow up? Did they resolve their issues? Apparently not. I think they have shame and fear, and that is what they're beating people with. Where do you think all the abortions left unresolved, the vast majority of them come from? What we're seeing is something that is, the surface is the final result of something bigger, something epidemic, something that is happening at an energy level that is driving the eventual human behavior that is the final result. And if we look at the behavior and keep treating the behavior as the problem, we're not getting to the core of the problem, that there's something driving. It's humans' perceptions, their fears, their emotional states that are left out of control and coupled with convictions, supernatural fears, all of these blended inside of humans that make them act out. That's what we're seeing. If I go back to his comment here now, what do I see? Disappointing video. Okay, well, it wasn't something that was for him. I don't care. He's disappointed in it. This is technical stuff. Hope your future videos are better. Me too. They're always going to be. They get better all the time. I will give you a second chance. All of a sudden, he's telling me that he, superior over me, I am going to give you a second chance. He's holding himself above me and me as a small person right there. What does that tell us about his life and how he grew up? Parents telling him, I'm disappointed in you. You better do better. I'll give you a second chance. But you're only rambling, Daniel. Show us. Don't spend 26 minutes leaving us empty-handed. Well, this is a when you get on his path, it's a self process. You teach the process. You don't leaving us empty-handed. He's looking for answers. He can go to other videos and find answers, or he can go to other channels and find answers. Empowering people is showing them how to do it themselves, not telling them, here's what you do. There's a lot of people that will do that. I don't like that idea. Here's what you should do. No, I think this is what I found, and I realize that this is a personal inner trek that has to be done by each individual. Anyway, okay, cause and effect. We're seeing things happening in a flow. As energy happens, as events happen, as emotions are left in place. And the emotions are common. They come from childhood sexual conduct, proper or not, coupled with fear, coupled with shame, because that's where we emerged from. These are not evil things. These are animal things. And if we keep calling them evil and hurt people for them, we're not going to understand them, and we're not going to fix ourselves as a society as long as we keep denying what they really are. I'm not an advocate for any of that stuff. I'm not. We're evolving. We are emerging from that. Let's all get together and emerge beyond that. But that means that the pain, the shame, and the stuff that we felt in the past, we have to leave it in the past. We have to resolve it. We have to deal with it. Otherwise, we live our lives acting it out, hurting other people, thinking we're somebody because we're humans and we evolve that way. Anyway, that's what I wanted to do in this video, kind of point out that path right there. And that as you see something happen, that is not... I have done things in my life that I thought, oh my God, I wish I had that moment over again. I wish I hadn't done that. But they were benign things like, fixing a piece of broken furniture or patching a hole I just punched in the drywall. I never shot anybody or killed anybody and then spent my life going, what the hell? What have I done? While people are going, oh, you're just evil. We're not going to fix ourselves that way. We don't have compassion, we don't have understanding, and we can't put ourselves in each other's shoes. And if we can't do that, we're not going to figure it out. But at any rate, I go off here a little bit. I'm kind of doing my own preaching stuff, I guess. What I wanted to point out, though, was this pattern, that this is going on, that nothing happens unless there's something that motivates it. There is sequence, cycles. Things are always moving along. When you're looking at an event, there were a lot of things that led up to it, and it's going to continue to lead up to the same event over and over again. We need to observe that in other people. We also need to observe it in ourselves. Now, here's what you must do, though, in order to observe it most accurately. Jesus teaches that if you want to help your brother see, to remove the stuff out of their eye, you must have your own eye cleared out first. And I'm going to contend that that is that massive stuff that we hold, what we call ourselves as we emerge in life and grow and develop and become who and what we are. And that all of the hatred and the anger and the shame and the judgments and desires that are just so many anguished things are kept inside of there, that is, when that is in place, and that's how we all start out, kind of. That you get to a point where you go, oh my gosh, I see that. I want to get rid of that. Before you get rid of that, you can't help other people deal with theirs. You've got the same issues and the same judgments. If somebody has a problem and they have an emotional conflict with it, and you yourself retain a similar kind of emotional conflict with it, you're not the one to help them. You don't have it figured out. We need to be beyond those things. But as we resolve our own issues, you begin to see the path. You begin to recognize what you must do, and then you see what other people must do. You can then help other people resolve their issues once you have learned how to successfully resolve your own. If I've been molested and I hate somebody can't talk to me about being molested. I'm not going to help them. If I've been molested and I've resolved it and I got it taken care of, and somebody comes and says, man, I got molested, I don't know what to do, now I can help them. I have taken the wood out of my own eye. So in order to see these things, we have to kind of have our own state of release of all of those things that we're hanging on to. I don't want to use the term purity. I don't think that's ever going to happen. We just want to really have a mind where we're not grasping and hanging on to things so much so that they limit our capacity to open up and see the bigger picture. Yeah, there's a lot of... There can be people born evil. There can be people that just do strange cannibalistic things or something like that, that you're like, my God, they were not raised that way. There are weird things that do emerge. So I'm not suggesting that there isn't evil. That evil is just a word. We experience it as evil. But we're in a flow and we hurt each other. And it comes from a deeper place of hurt. And when somebody is acting out, what you're seeing is their emotional pain. You're not seeing justice. You're seeing their emotional pain. Cause and effect. That's this lesson. If you are studying Taoism, what is Taoism? The flow, the way life experiences. That's what we're looking at here. We're beginning to see how life unfolds. And this allows us to not only recognize the past, but to understand what is going to be happening in the future, because we realize that it is a cyclical thing, that as long as it's not being interacted with and stopped, that it's going to continue on. But also, realizing that that is what's happening, we begin to put ourselves in that same... We begin to comprehend within our own minds that we are doing the same thing, that we are in that flow. and that the way our life is unfolding for us and the things that we're doing is based on things that are from within us as well. We're all doing this. Part of us getting out of there is recognizing that it is this perception mass that is the issue, and that is what is acting out. And when we're seeing everybody doing what they're doing, their words don't matter. The words are not the issue. Look at the life impact that they are having on other people. That is what is truly coming out of them. What is emerging from them is emotional. You're not seeing a sense of justice coming out of people. You're seeing a wall. And behind it is fear. The wall is there. They'll even throw up flags and crosses. Oh, you can't touch that. Yeah, you can see what emerges from there. Just look. It's the fruits. The fruits are emotions. And then the actions as a result of those emotions. What do? Do they help people? Do they hurt people? We can see more than what a newspaper article says, what a headline says. It's a bigger picture. It's always a bigger picture. Things are in motion, and whatever is happening now is in motion. It's moving in waves, and it's going to continue. Something has to circumvent it. But what we see when people do this, like I said, on the channel, I will comment on there to people to let them know, hey, if it's not your thing, go ahead and leave. I don't always ignore people. Sometimes I let them know there's a wall here, and I don't need you. Go ahead and be an asshole. I'll just get rid of you and delete your comments. You don't need to be here being that way to people. What I want is for people to recognize that, though, and to understand themselves. That's the only way we can fix society. Everybody has to get on board with this. And, but for now, each of us has to do it individually. That's the only thing we can do. And then set an example. So, all right, that's it. The flow. There's another one. Cause and effect. Here we're seeing it. We're beginning to see that we can recognize things. When you step back, there's a bigger pattern going on, and that we are in that pattern trying to emerge from it, or trying to control. You're not going to stop patterns. What you want to do is change one form of pattern to a different form of pattern. A cyclical failure to a cyclical success. Cyclical hatred to cyclical love. Things are going to continue to cycle, but they're going to cycle around what is up here. The nature of what is up here. And we can see that. That evil mother's a hurt mother. We need to stop the chain. Hope the video was helpful. It's another tool. Love one another, and I'll see you in the next one.